Hello everyone, this is Hyperactive here. Today I am here with...
Stamir.
Yeah, this guy. If you want to check out his channel, go check it out. And meanwhile, we're focused on my channel. Don't give me that look. Don't give me that look.
I hate you.
Alright, so today we're going to be talking about another comic book superhero, and it is DC's Green Lantern.
My favorite because I just like how they can create anything with a thought.
Okay, that's a cool idea, but today's the subject is about how can we make a good Green Lantern game.
I thought you were going to go with superhero game, but...
Well, we already have plenty of good superhero games.
That is true.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about, we're going to start with the history, the movie game, then the corpse, then the gameplay in the open world. Alright, so let's get started. The history, Samir, take it away.
In the beginning there was darkness, and then suddenly a flash of light. Then the Guardians of the Galaxy, or whatever, they were probably called the Guardians of the Galaxy, they were called the Owens, and they fought with the darkness with the light. But then they slowly discovered that the universe was getting too chaotic and all that, so they created some things called the Manhunters, which were androids who did whatever they said. But then the androids had a glitch and then murdered an entire sector. This sounds a little out of it, but trust me, this is very important for one of the origins of another one. They murdered an entire sector of the universe, so then the Owens decided, oh, well, that sucks. Hey, look at all this light that's around. Maybe we should use it. So they took the green light of willpower and created, bam, the Green Lanterns. And that's how the Green Lanterns were made. Many years later, one survivor from the freaking massacre of the sector, and the sector was called 666, and you'll understand why. And Atrocitus, the tyrant of Sector 666, took all the blood of all of his fallen comrades and created the Red Power Ring, the Red Ring of Rage, and created all that core, and went out and to try and murder everything.
So wait, hold on. His entire core was massacred.
No, his entire sector of the universe, which is billions of light years across, was completely massacred, and he was the only one out of like billions and billions of people there. He was the last one alive. So he took all the blood from his planet and created the first Red Power Ring, which makes them immortal, because the only way to kill them is to destroy the power ring that's on them. And that's explained in the comic series Darkest Night, when Atrocitus' heart is ripped out of his chest, and then he just gets up and laughs and then beats one of the Black Lanterns to death. Oh yeah, there's Black Lanterns, by the way.
Alright, so we have that down. We have the majority of the Lantern's origins, kind of. We'll go into more of that later.
Yeah.
But right now, after that, now we're going to talk about the movie game, the first actual Green Lantern game out there, and it was based on the terrible movie.
The movie was alright.
It was terrible.
I don't like how they made that nerd the main enemy, though.
There's two enemies. The giant fart and the
Parallax? The embodiment of fear?
It was a giant fart. That's what it was.
He was a cloud of fear.
It was like Galactus from Fantastic Silver Surfer, right?
It was like Galactus from Galactic Silver Surfer.
Shut up. Alright, so it was like Galactus from the Rise of the Silver Surfer. It was a giant fart. And this one, it was a giant fart from the Green Lantern.
I never saw that movie. So
don't.
Galactus is still a giant conquering planet eater as far as I know.
Yeah, okay, so moving on. The game was very mixed reviews, but most people just don't like it. It was repetitive, the gameplay was stolen from Devil May Cry, the graphics were okay, I guess.
By the way, I didn't like the new Devil May Cry games. I didn't like the gameplay, how you get a really sweet combo, and then some red dude would come up and be like, hey, you're using a white weapon? Guess what? Ping.
Dude. Okay, that's a discussion for another time.
Another game, perhaps.
Another game, yes. And, damn, where was I?
You're talking about the gameplay.
Yeah, the gameplay is directly from Devil May Cry. The graphics were okay, and the game was very linear, and you couldn't even fly. That's actually a giant red flag right there. If you can't fly with the Green Lantern...
The Green Lantern's, like, main power is to fly.
I know, right? And the story itself, well, it was about the Manhunters, but other than that, it didn't really go much deeper into them. It just was kind of like... It didn't really follow the movie either. And so, the game was just not very well received and didn't really sold well. So we haven't seen a Green Lantern game since. And now we are...
As far as we know.
Yeah, as far as we know. We don't know if there's another one being making.
We totally did extensive research, and by that we mean we looked up Green Lantern game, that popped up, and we thought, only one.
I mean, he's in, like, in fighting games, at least, but...
Yeah, but those aren't good.
Oh, yeah, there's one. Injustice. Injustice was good.
I didn't like Injustice.
That was alright.
I don't like fighting games, so that's...
Because you suck at them.
You know what? That is completely true. I'm the guy who sits in the corner and spams the Hadouken.
Alright. So we have the history of the video game now. Now let's talk about the story. What the story of the game should be.
The story of the game would probably be... Now, we talked about this a little bit beforehand, and taking into consideration some of the Corps' powers and who they are, like, we had to cut some of them out. Like, the Orange Lantern Corps, which is only one guy, yeah, there's no way we could make that work, like, at all. Yeah, no. And the Blue Lanterns, whose only power is to help out the Green Lanterns, and they can't even use most of their powers except the ability to fly and breathe in the vacuum of space. That's the only power they get, unless they're with a Green Lantern. Otherwise, they just beef them up. We got it down to, I would think, 5 of them, which is the Red Lanterns, the Yellow Lanterns, or the Sinestro Corps, if you want to be a nerd and yell at me, the Green Lanterns, the Star Sapphires, aka the Pink Lanterns or Violet Lanterns, whatever you want to call them, and the Indigo Tribe, which no one really knows much about them, but I think it would be pretty cool to see them.
Yeah. So, okay, so we can have like this. At the beginning of the game, you can pick which Corps you want to belong to. As maybe like halfway through the game, you're still fighting like the opposite side of your Corps.
To take that in consideration, it would be green against yellow, vice versa, violet against red, vice versa, and Indigo Tribe would sort of just follow along a dark prophecy that may or may not be happening, and then eventually get to the other Corps and be like, hey, stuff's going down.
Yeah, then like maybe like the Black Lanterns will come into play at some point. They all have to banter together.
Which they did in the comic book series Blackest Night.
Yeah, okay, so there you go. There's a story right there they can use. So now we have the story down, but now the important part is the gameplay. Let's face it, if the gameplay is great, you're going to play it over and over again.
If the story's good, you'll play it over and over.
Not really, no.
I challenge you with that, sir. Undertale.
Dude, Undertale has great gameplay and story. There's no argument about that.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm trying to think of a game that has a good story, but gameplay-wise, it wasn't that great. Resident Evil 1.
I'm gonna challenge that and say any point-and-click game.
Good point. Okay. Okay, so back on topic. Gameplay.
Gameplay, I think, would be like... It would be like... The Star Sapphires and the Indigo Tribe were mostly like... The Indigo Tribe have staffs and they shoot lasers. So them and the Star Sapphires, who also shoot lasers, I mean, those two would have the long range. Green Lanterns could pick either side. And then I think that the Yellow Lanterns should keep with like melee only, but then their long-ranged attacks could be to strike fear and make you stronger. And then Red Lanterns, obviously, are going to be punching and buffing themselves up.
Alright, so yeah, we have different gameplay styles, depends on which one you pick. But like, how will the overall game control itself? Like, square be like normal attacks, triangle be heavy attacks. Like, how would that be pulled off? Could they decide whether like, do they want this heavy to be for their triangle weapon, like a sledgehammer instead of a long sword?
Oh, now I know what you... Okay.
Yeah, like kind of like...
Earlier we talked about this. It sounded like you were saying like they have to pick a weapon, and I was like, that's not going to work.
No, they can pick any weapon they want for their attack. Like, maybe even mix it up.
Only the ones who can create constructs, which are the Green and the Yellow Lanterns. The other ones are shoot lasers and bring whatever weapons they want with them, I guess.
Alright, so... But the thing is, like... Should they be able to fly, though? They should be able to fly.
They should. That's a basic lantern power.
Yeah, they should be able to fly, no doubt. I mean, flying's been done plenty of times in games before. Should be no trouble, hell. Even Batman games you can even kind of fly. Glide, but comes close to it.
Yeah.
Alright, so we have the gameplay down. Let's talk about the open world and the content within it.
Don't you mean open galaxy?
Oh, whatever. Okay, yes, it should be an open galaxy where you're allowed to leave the planet and go to other planets. This is next gen. We should be able to do that. No Man's Sky is doing it, and that's an indie game.
Spore did it.
Yes.
They sort of did it.
They sort of, not really. I won't say.
They played with the idea a little bit, but then they were just like, hey, guess what? You know that cool, you can take trees and stuff and terraform a whole planet? We're not going to let you do that anymore. Go out and talk to people.
Yeah. So we can... So yeah, be able to explore galaxies, and of course each planet needs to have like their own side missions, enemies.
Exactly, but we're gonna have to narrow it down to just like certain sectors.
Yeah, certain sectors. The game can't be like hugely.
You can't have all of the sectors. Yeah. That's gonna take forever, and I don't even think DC has all the sectors marked down.
So obviously we should be able to explore Earth. I think you should be able to explore at least a good section of Earth.
Yeah.
At least like.
Metropolis.
At least
Gotham.
Metropolis and Gotham, yes. Those two right there.
Maybe Themyscira.
Yeah.
If you pick a female character.
Yeah.
And the Hall of Justice, you know.
Yeah, true. The thing is, I think it would be cool is like there's like special side missions with, you know, the other DC characters.
Well, yeah, that's a given.
Yeah, that should be a thing, honestly. That should be. I mean, Batman Arkham... The Arkham never did that. They never did.
Being a Yellow Lantern, going up to Crib and just being... She's like, I need you to get some food for my babies. And you go out and murder a whole planet.
Oh, great. Alright. So, yes, there should be plenty of side missions. Fun side missions. No repetitive ones. No one likes repetitive side missions.
Now we get to talk about the one part that everyone wants to talk about. Restricting the character. Recharging the battery.
Oh, yes. That needs to be a thing.
So... Green and Yellow Lanterns are based off of the same thing because Sinestro took the technology from the Owens and made his own Lantern Corps. So Green and Yellow Lanterns are going to have to like go off to a corner and suck their thumb a little bit by sticking their lantern into their ring into the lantern and charging it like that. Red Lanterns gain their power through blood, so as long as they're beating enemies up, they're going to be pretty charged up. I don't know how... The Indigo Tribe wouldn't have to because their staffs are their rings and their lanterns, so they're pretty much...
They're pretty much good, so...
And the Star Sapphires, as far as I know, if there's love, they can conquer all.
Love, really?
That's what their power is.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so... like... Okay, we have the open world, side missions. Now, what type of side missions should there be? Like, what type?
It's mostly just going to be like the basic, like with Green Lanterns and Yellow Lanterns, it's going to be go to this sector and fight that thing. With Red Lanterns, it's going to be go to this sector and murder everything. Pink Lanterns are going to be go to this sector, spread the love. Indigo Tribe is going to be go to this sector and spread the compassion.
The thing is, we can't have it be, you know, the same side missions. They have to be different varieties. Maybe like race challenges, maybe deliveries.
How dare you bring that racing to this?
What?
I hate racing side missions.
Oh, get over it.
I always hit the one hazard and I get stuck in last place and I'm just like, ugh.
Alright. So yeah, and, you know, maybe like deliveries, protection, siege, maybe, you know, different variety.
Well, yeah, some of the lanterns are going to have special missions catered towards their side. So like, the Red Lanterns are going to be like, go to this planet, murder everything, and create Red Lanterns or whatever. But then Green Lantern's going to be like, oh, go to this sector because they're having problems with like fire or whatever. It's going to be basic stuff like that.
Alright, so, you know, of course these side missions need to be rewarding. If they're not rewarding, then why do them?
I think the most rewarding they can really do is experience points and...
I mean, they can get cool stuff. I mean, like, they're going to be armor, right? Armor?
Well...
Maybe, like...
The Green Lantern's, like, outfit is already kind of an armor because it's made from their willpower and all that.
Yeah, okay, I see your point there.
So, armor's kind of useful. Like, the Red Lanterns would maybe use it, but I highly doubt that since they're already pretty much indestructible.
Yeah, so, okay. So, we have the open world. We have side missions. Is there anything else that we should bring into it?
I just realized we may have just lost, like, half the MMO community by being like, yeah, we're not going to have any weapons or armor drops because... Those won't really work out with,
first,
lanterns.
Okay, we first thought it would be a good idea for an MMO, but we're going for more of like a Skyrim type game.
Yeah.
Okay, not exactly like Skyrim, but you know, kind of. It has some RPG elements, but for the most part, it is a third-person beat 'em up with some MMO elements in there. There's some really good ones out there. Skyrim's probably one of them.
Dark Souls are probably a good example.
Dark Souls is a great example of
Well, I say that, but like, if you murder anything enough times, you can take its weapon or armor, so...
Alright, final question I have for that game. Depends which core you go with. Should there be different endings for that core? Instead of just one big cinematic ending where you see
if we're going with like the Blackest Night and eventually the sequel, which would be Brightest Day, I don't think there would be really much difference unless you picked the Indigo Tribe, which they go off with Black Hand, who's the main enemy of Blackest Night. He's the main Black Lantern in the arc. He gets captured. Oh yeah, spoiler alerts. He gets captured by the Indigo Tribe and forced to become one of them at the end of Blackest Night. So maybe that would probably be the only difference I see with it, besides like, oh, and then you and your lantern went off and spread fear if you're the Yellow Lanterns or whatever.
Yeah, like you're different ending versions. They don't have to be big.
Kind of like the endings of Fallout, like depending on how evil or good you were. It's
yeah.
Like, and then
Except that, there's no karma thing. It just depends which core you went with. You get to see their ending.
Yeah.
Pretty much, their ending at the side of the story.
God, I hope this game doesn't get a karmic system. That would.
Not like Infamous. No, not like Infamous is great. I would say the karmic in Infamous is great, but in this game it would not work. It wouldn't work. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up everything in the Green Lantern game. There's not much we can really add much to it.
Not really much we could, I mean,
that's pretty much what they can just go off. It is easy.
Oh, one side thing I should probably mention.
What?
Some of you nerds out there are probably thinking, what about the White Lanterns?
No, White Lanterns are not in this game. Definitely not there.
Only in Brightest Day and maybe the end of Blackest Night, because I don't remember the ending exactly. But the White Lanterns, for those of you who don't know, they are all the colors. They have all the powers, and they can see where everyone is if they're wearing a power ring. So yeah, they can't be in it because they're too OP.
Yeah, okay, so no White Lanterns. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up everything. It is easier said than done, but it is possible to pull off.
It's very possible.
It is possible.
It may take a year or two, but
I imagine like 2 years and a half, maybe.
2.5.
Yeah, with that amount of content, yeah. So, alright, that wraps up everything. As always, just like I'm gonna leave one last question, and it's gonna be related to this topic. How would you make a Superman game? Alright, well that's all I have for today, guys. See ya!
Bye.